Hi there, welcome to a description of one of the activities that we use in our leadership development programs, SMED. Actually an acronym, it stands for Single Minute Exchange of Dies. And we use this particular activity for many of our workshops that focus on operational effectiveness and excellence. The concept of SMED was developed in Japan in the automotive industry in the 50s. And what Mr. Shingo was looking at was specifically turnover times or breakdowns and how he could reduce the amount of time it took to get a production line or assembly line back up and running whenever you needed to change from one particular model of car to another, or if something was to break down. Well, we use this concept to look at any operation. And what we're trying to teach when we use this as an activity is to help people identify first where the critical areas are within their operations, bottlenecks or other important areas of the operations that limit throughput. And then to identify ways to make sure that if that particular area ever breaks down or needs to be changed over, or something impedes its operations, that it is back up and running as quick as possible. So let me set the stage for you. What you can see is us putting in front of 2 or 3 teams a set of Tinker Toys. We've purposefully dropped the Tinker Toys in kind of a messy pile in and amongst a whole bunch of other things that kind of get in the way, and then we present the teams with a model that they need to replicate. And we want them to do this in under a minute. We don't give them any forewarning or any advanced planning here. We just basically drop the toys in front of them and ask them to get this built in a minute. And of course, the teams are somewhat in bewilderment. They're a bit confused. They try to figure this out, and normally it takes them about 7 to 8 minutes to complete it. We then stop the teams and ask them why they didn't get it done in a minute. And of course the teams are full of answers. They say things such as, well, we were unprepared. We've never done this before. This can't be done in a minute. There was stuff all over the place. We didn't have enough parts. It's at that point we say, good, so you understand what the challenges are in order to get this done in 1 minute. And we then give the teams about 10 to 15 minutes to plan, to fix all of those things that they've just identified. After that 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we call the teams back and we have them build the model again. The only instructions that they have in terms of making any changes to this process is that they can't have any of the parts connected before we say go. So they're all ready to go. We do it a second time, and wouldn't you know it, both of the teams will be able to do it in under a minute, and in many cases they're able to do it in roughly 30 seconds. The lesson here is that with careful understanding, design, and preparation, we can make sure that any part of our operations can be changed over, fixed, in much less time than it takes us normally. If we've got a plan, if we've got the right tools, if we're trained, much like that of an F1 pit crew, who could change a tire and fill the entire gas tank in under 7 seconds? Well, to you and I, we'd say forget it. It would take us about 6 minutes to change a tire, and then of course we'd have to fill the tank. But an F1 pit crew has figured this out, how to do it in under 7 seconds. Well, this is the idea. So with that being the lesson, we then ask the teams to identify how they could do this back at their workplace, and we spend the next part of the workshop focusing on that. Our hope is that they're able to immediately apply this concept to a critical area in their operation and really having a positive impact on their efficiency and effectiveness.